I decided to go to church on Sunday, and so I slept in a little bit, took some pictures, and this is just my buddy's yard, his front yard. And this is Paco, my stand-in dog. My dog is back home in Cheney, or Spokane, whereas Paco is my stand-in dog. He's very loyal to me.
Hi, Paco. How are you? Oh, really? See the other dog? The other dog's like, oh, okay, whatever. But Paco was always like, oh, you pet people.
Yeah, Paco is a very, very friendly dog, and Cody is just like, whatever. Good to see you. Good to see you. But you can see the personality types there. Paco slept next to me every night and on the floor, and yeah, it was just kind of nice. And I recorded a video, uploaded it, and then I tried to eat breakfast. This was breakfast. It was a glass of milk and two peanut butter and honey burritos. I just like peanut butter and honey burritos better than sandwiches, but that's hard to explain to people. So I tried to eat quickly, and unfortunately, this caused a problem because the peanut butter actually got caught in my throat, and I ended up not being able to breathe very well. And so I grabbed the milk and I tried to drink it down so that I could move it down a little. And instead, it just mixed badly, and I ended up vomiting the first burrito. So all I had was one burrito and some milk for breakfast, and that was within 24 hours of my last meal. So I was very hungry and kind of feeling a bit icky. This is just a Hawaii thing. I'm from Hawaii, so I was like, hey, I should get a picture of this. Use my flash, and it failed. And this is Baby Groot. It's just stuff around the kitchen. So I went to church, and nobody was there. I don't know why. I think it was a stake conference. That's where that's a multi-congregational meeting, and that's my guess. But I didn't see anybody. However, on my way to the ferry, I noticed this beautiful, beautiful view, and that there was nobody behind me. So I just stopped, and I took a picture. And that's really is a beautiful view. And I think I'm breaking a law here, but there was nobody there. It was a Sunday morning, so I was safe. And it's just a beautiful Bremerton morning, and I asked this lovely couple to take their picture behind them, and they were like, oh, okay, this is weird. And this guy's Hollow Knight. It's a very fun game, released for all sorts of consoles and PC, and it's a fun little game. And while I was on the ferry, I saw these pictures, so I took a picture of them, and it was pretty simple, really. And once again, just enjoying my trip. There's that couple again. A very simple walk. As soon as I get there, there's people fixing machines and looking at things, and the guy in the kilt is actually a really nice guy. He does lock picking classes, so you could look that up. He's part of kind of a hacking group in Seattle, and I had to tell him I'm from Spokane. The commute is a bit long to Seattle, but each one of these guys is pretty good, and I think that's Chris there, and so and the guy on the right is Mike, and they were good at getting everything fixed up and ready to go every day. That's Rocketeers. I thought it was so cute. Her putting on her helmet is actually the picture I wanted, but that would be difficult to get. And this cat is dressed up. Look, see? It's got wings. And it's a cat, so it was next to impossible to get a picture of. Oh, there it is. Oh. And I got the lovely couple of Storm and Black Panther, who were married at one time in the comics. I never read the comics, but apparently they were married. It would make sense. He's the richest man in all of the world, and she is a goddess. And this was a pretty nice couple. I was just enjoying my time, And I was feeling pretty sick. I had to sit down a lot, and I had difficulties kind of staying awake because I hadn't eaten. People who've seen this picture thought I was hitting on this girl. Really, she was just like, "Hey, want to get a selfie with me?" Yeah, sure, okay. And we got the selfie, and she walked off. That was it. There was no a lot. There wasn't a lot of interaction. And this is just kind of the eating area at the show. Hi, Ben. And you'll notice, nice dressing up. I think they were going to have a dress up thing there. So that's what it was going on. Anyway, some Girl Scouts passed by, and I was so hungry. I was like, okay, I'll buy us some Girl Scout cookies. What do you got? And they gave me some trefoils, and it was $5 for a box. You know, I would complain that this is like crack, but I was telling people to take a sample of a small arcade, so who am I to judge? And it worked. $5, and I ate one sleeve and felt a lot better for a bit. Just some great costumes. This is one of my favorites. It's the Powerpuff Girls. Don't you get it? There's the Doctor. There's Mojo Jojo. And that's just a husband and wife and their daughters. I mean, if you had 3 girls, you would do the same, wouldn't you? I just thought it was really cool. And it actually took me a moment to realize it. What they were dressed as. They were just walking around. So, and she was really shy. So I took her picture, but I fully understood that she just didn't want a lot. And this guy had these little bitty sons, and I just wanted to get a picture of him with his sons. But imagine kids up to his knees. And yeah, he's just walking around going, "Arr." And she was so cute. Ahsoka Tano. And yeah, pretty much I just kind of sat down and took pictures and kind of controlled the crowd. It was always at capacity in the arcade, so I was actually telling people to go away or to come back later. And I was feeling kind of sick, so I got some water and I took this picture by Ann Peavy. This is a great picture, Ann. Good job. Just basically was a tourist. This guy had a mystery box, and they were $35. And I was told by his dad that he was just walking around and he wouldn't want anything. He didn't want anything. That he saw the box and he's like, "I want that." So I took a picture of him opening the box, and this was just what was in the box. And it was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool." It's like Christmas. And, this is great girls set up. Just walking around in the arcade. Look at the mallet, you'll see your face here. That's a great little addition there. And a Dalek. And, oh yeah. I was trying to get this picture, and the flash went off. I was like, oh, sorry. And the guy immediately turned around and posed. So, yeah, I got that shot. And this is She-Hulk as a lawyer. She-Hulk is a lawyer. I bet you didn't know that. But she is, and she's a very good lawyer. And just various poses. The guy with the beard, he actually stood next to me for most of the thing, and he was basically just handing out flyers with me. That was pretty much what I did all day, is I handed out flyers, and, if people said they really liked this small arcade, I was like, "Hey, take this flyer, you'll love our show." And he kind of did a longer spiel and stuff, and that's totally cool. It was his spiel. My spiel was a little bit, a lot shorter. I was be like, "Hey, go into this room. You like that? Try our show. 400 plus arcade games set free to play. All we charge is admission." And, just very quick, because I knew that they only had so much concentration for me. And this pretty much, near the end, we started turning on the lights. We started turning machines off. And I actually played a kid at Street Fighter 2, and right near the end, we played a couple sessions, and then I was like, "Okay, I gotta turn this off. Sorry." And he's like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yes, really." Oh, and a guy beat Street Fighter 2, and he was so excited, he was telling everybody. And he saw that I was eating cookies, and I was like, "Here, have a cookie." He's like, "Oh, those are trefoils, aren't they?" I was like, "Yes. Do you want another cookie?" "Yes. Here you go." But really, I didn't want to do that. But he was here last year, and he was talking about the great pinball museum, and he talked about a game, and I completely forgot what it was. But as soon as it was done, we found out that the truck was parked. There was some parking problems. We didn't have a pass, we were told, even though we specifically said we have a pass, or even though we were specifically told we had a pass, and we were given a pass, and oh, it was just a headache. But we quickly got everything into onto those little hand trucks, and we quickly got them to the truck, and that is a very, very big elevator, but those are really big machines. So if you felt claustrophobic at all, it would be a bad time for you. But we just enjoyed ourselves. We had one hand truck that didn't have kickback wheels. I used it once and just went, why don't we just give this to Dan, the guy at the truck? I'm not going to take another machine all the way around through the elevator and through the show floor and all that stuff. That's just a lot of work that we don't need to do. And I just took pictures as I walked around. This is a bit quick because because I had to go so fast. And if you look, this is the first time I noticed the butt. But yes, that's a blow-up pug. And yeah. This is the Jelly Bean art and the Kirby thing being taken down. I actually saw these guys wheeling them away, and it almost looked like they were going to take it down the escalator. And I was like, whoa! And the guy was like, the show's over. I could just trash all of these. I kind of laughed. And this is just kind of very blurry, quick shots of people taking down stuff. And by the end, the room was empty. And I was talking to people, and we're like, we need to figure out an organized way to do stuff. And I was like, I'm fully willing to take charge, but I live in Spokane, so I take charge when I'm at the convention. But after that, somebody needs to arrange the truck and need to arrange the games and stuff like that. But so that was an interesting conversation. Maybe it might happen next year. I think if we just had kind of a group that went, okay, we're going to show up at every show and, get the passes and arrange this stuff, and I'd be totally for it. And that crane you're looking at is really difficult to take a picture of because sometimes they get ornery at you for taking that picture. I was actually told, don't take a picture of this at one time, and the staff was actually like, no, you were an exhibitor at a public spot, that you have total permission to take a picture of this guy. And look at this machine. You haven't even seen it fully extended. And there's the pug all deflated again. And there is that same machine all the way up. To give you an idea of how cool it is. And, just people stacking boxes. They looked at me like, what are you up to? I was like, just checking out stuff. And actually, the same place, this guy was going, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and all this stuff to everybody leaving. And I was like, oh, thank you. Aloha oi. And, just basically people set up. This is a sculpture of various artists in Seattle, and kind of a joke about all of them. And just to the right was where the arcade was for 1 year, and I just remember this sculpture really well, so I decided to take a picture of it. This is just a paper crane on a desk. By this point, almost everything was emptied or being put in boxes. So, just this entire place just disappeared, and we just have these small remnants. If you were an archaeologist, you could just walk around going, wow, I can sort of guess at what was here, but I only have, ideas. And this is a better shot of that. And I tried to go hang out with some friends, and I just couldn't. Right when I got the message where they were, I was already too close to the ferry to really make the move, and that was really awkward. So I walked to the ferry just going, oh man, I missed this friend. I missed hanging out with everybody. And I took pictures on the way back. And I'm going to show this photo again, but not this one. And so I sent him a video and I said, okay, quick, raise your hand. High five! And yeah. Then I met this cute puppy. She was really difficult to get a picture of. And I was talking to folks, and finally somebody said, my buddy said, hey, my girlfriend is actually on the same ferry as you. And so I went and I talked to her, and it turns out she saw me the day before and even called out to me, and I think I actually heard her, and I looked up, but I didn't see. I was too busy writing or too busy doing whatever I was doing, so I didn't notice her. Hi, Eric. Your birthday is not today, Eric. And that was pretty much my day. It was a good day. I enjoyed it, but I did feel a little sick, and I did feel a little lonely because the trip back would be difficult. And I think I watched The Hobbit, the second Hobbit in the trilogy, and we were just kind of sitting there chatting, and I found out that Snoqualmie Pass was going to be closed. And I just went, okay, I've got to leave at this specific time, and I've got to do this, and if it's not open, I'm going to have to have another day in Seattle, And I was going to go see my friend Ben, and I was going to go to the Living Computer Museum, and I was going to go see my cousin Visca, Claire, and do stuff like that. And here is the automated machine. Okay. This is me trying to get my wallet out. Okay. See this? There we go. Slide. Lovely machine. And quickly hit the numbers. And this machine just kind of maneuvers, grabs it, and places it in so that it isn't shaken as much. It's just such a cool process that I loved it. So I thought I'd make sure to get a video. But my day was basically me going, well, what do I do now? How do I make my day? Do I leave? Do I head back to Spokane, or do I stay and see my friends? And I didn't know, and I wanted to see them. Oh, and as the show ended, I told people, the large, massive amounts of people coming down the escalator, to raise their hand, and then I gave them an air five. And then I'd wait again, and then I'd tell them to raise their hand, and I'd give them an air five. And all the minions kind of grouped around me, and everybody raised their hand, and we all gave them a high five, and that was cool. And that was the show. So tomorrow's video the next video will be entirely about the trip home. And I'm going to include some, I kind of traditionally always go to an arcade and to a video game store, so get ready for that story. So this is the video, and catch you all later.